Okay, you know, I also have pulled out some colors that I don't like. I mean, it's not that I hate them in any way, but it's not like I would pick up these colors, I don't think, and put them together in a piece. I just, maybe they're too bright, they're a little too artificial, I'm not crazy about pink or whatever. But I think those colors, well, maybe this one, who knows, but there's always those colors that you don't choose. And I was just curious, you know, I also have a little pile of here of colors that I would choose. Colors that I might pull out just, you know, off the top of my head and use them. And by the way, this one here is really the undyed version of this. I want to get into overdying, which I've mentioned in my other classes before, but you know, this is just an example of how well I was able to transform this color into something that I like. But I'm just thinking today in terms of in between. What if I did take these colors and place them in between some of the other colors that I do like? Would I then be able to allow them to exist in my palette? Would that change them? So I had this thought that in between could also be something like sort of the in-between steps that might allow you to connect things that perhaps normally would not please you, and change them by simply using them in that way. So I'm going to play a little around with that idea as well. You know, and then I'm thinking also, there's also the balance of color that you use. Perhaps you just use a lot less of the colors you don't want. I mean, that's another way to chain these and make them into a combination, is to just, I mean, they're all colors and they do exist, so there's no real reason to reject them, but maybe part of your choice would just be simply the balance in which you put them in, or letting them be the in-between colors and letting your own colors be the main colors. So that was just another thought. You know, when you want to get a sense of color, and especially when you want to get a sense of color on color, or how one color can change into a color, these strips come in handy in terms of a dyeing tool as well. But I want to talk about that separately, so I'll come back after I sew some of these less favorite colors in between some of my favorite colors and see how that works.